understand tonight that their target is our leader and prime minister. Because let me tell you something, one of the things that they have done over the years is to attack our leaders, try to tear down our leaders. But let me tell you something, as a party and as a country, we're going to push back against the hypocrisy of a toothless, a party that lacks vision.
3 Jamaican politicians, 2 from the PNP and 1 from the JLP, are now facing charges after the Integrity Commission submitted 3 new reports to Parliament. This video breaks down the drama, controversy, and political fallout in my expert political commentary style. We cover PM Andrew Holness's statement on negative corruption scandal narratives, Desmond McKenzie's pushback on alleged smear campaigns, and the growing tension between the Integrity Commission, the government, and the opposition, featuring my expert political analysis, plot twist, and full political commentary breakdown. Subscribe for more Jamaican politics drama, breakdowns, and exposés. 3 politicians, 1 Integrity Commission, and a scandal so fresh it's still upon a stove. By the end of this video, you'll know why Parliament might soon feel like a cartoon, and which party sweating more than a politician during election recount. Let's crack this open like a Parliament mic drop. What just dropped? So here's the tea straight from the kettle at Gordon House. The Integrity Commission, Jamaica's anti-corruption watchdog, has just submitted 3 new reports to Parliament. These aren't just any reports. They come wrapped tighter than a KFC secret spice recipe, and they've been addressed with all the drama. Sealed envelopes, flash drives, identical letters. May I tell you, Netflix couldn't write it better. But why the suspense? Well, 3 councillors from the St. Catherine Municipal Corporation are about to be charged for failing to file their statutory declarations. 2 from the PNP, 1 from the JLP, meaning corruption don't have a party preference. It crosses the aisles like Desmond McKenzie at a press conference. But is this just about paperwork, or is it the first domino in a deeper investigation the public hasn't seen yet? Should the Integrity Commission name and shame the politicians before Parliament sees the reports? Yes or no? Drop your take below. IC versus Parliament, PNP versus JLP, Desmond McKenzie versus everybody. No, you'd think this would unite the House, right? Wrong. This has turned into an all-out political back and forth, like Sting without the dub plates. On one side, the Integrity Commission, led by new chair Justice Carol Lawrence Bestwick, dropping reports like mixtapes. On the other, the Holness administration, screaming foul over negative narratives, killing public trust. PM Holness recently said at a ceremony in Old Harbour, "We've been making progress, but all people see is corruption headlines." Sir Dr. Andrew Holness, if the news keep busting stories like this, you can't expect Jamaicans to focus on pothole patchwork. Meanwhile, the PNP, silent on the 2 councillors, has been gleefully reposting every corruption headline with popcorn emojis. And then enter Desmond McKenzie, aka the JLP's hype man. Them man ya hype. Warning the PNP to ease up of the smear campaign, or Labour rights will clap back. We're not going to make mash up Holness name with fake scandal. So Desmond McKenzie, you sure is fake? Because we know uno popular for run out strong and wrong, you know. JLP and PMP getting exposed in the same week. Who do you think will get charged first? Sound off below. below in the comments. Real question, do you still trust the Integrity Commission, or is it just another political pawn? Comment yes or nah in the comments. My expert breakdown, what this really means. Let's pause for a moment and actually break this down as if we're not caught in the political shouting match. Here's what you need to understand. Under the Integrity Commission Act, politicians must file statutory declarations of their assets, liabilities, and income. It's not optional. When they don't, the acting director of corruption prosecution, Ronnie Florence, can recommend criminal charges. Rightfully so. These reports were submitted under Section 54, which means someone is in big legal trouble. And no, this isn't just paperwork. These declarations are how corruption gets traced. Think of them like receipts. No receipts, then what you're hiding? Key takeaway. This is not just about 3 councillors. This is about how seriously we treat transparency and accountability in Jamaican governance. But here's where it gets even juicier. There are whispers that more investigation reports are coming, and they might not stop at councillors. What if the next envelope has a minister's name or a sitting MP? And if the Integrity Commission keeps this pace, Gordon House might need a corruption wing soon. If these 3 politicians are guilty, what should their punishment be? Let's hear your sentence recommendations in the comments. Here's a summary of the highlights and the key points. 3 councillors, 2 PNP, 1 JLP facing charges. Integrity Commission dropping heat under new leadership. Holness blames negative narratives for undermining trust. Desmond McKenzie launching PR missiles at PNP. Possible escalation, more names coming. This video is going to piss off some politicians. Which name do you think will cause the most chaos when it drops? Let's talk in the comments. Jamaica's political pot just start boiling, and me no see no one turning down the stove. If you love this kind of political commentary, expert analysis breakdown that exposes the real drama behind the parliament walls, hit that like, drop a comment saying clean up the whole thing, and subscribe for more juicy political autopsies straight from the experts desk. And remember, in Jamaica, the real election campaign are the cover-up. True or false, both parties are equally corrupt, just better at hiding it. Ready to defend your answer? Let's hear it in the comments. Go. Let's hear what Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness have to say, because apparently una get too distracted with the corruption, scandals, allegations and accusations where upon the JLP that una nasi his 200 plus achievements. So make we hear what the PM have to say.
For years we have been programmed to be suspicious of government, to be disbelieving of government. We have been programmed for governments that don't perform. That's how it has been. And so what they call the confirmation bias that exists within people is to believe that government is not performing, even when confronted with the facts.
Point of order, Dr. Prime Minister Andrew Holness. The fact is your party have too much scandal and corruption baggage I walk around with every day. And the fact is, every time people see your face and hear your voice or nobody else from your party, all they remember is all of the scandals, corruption, allegations and accusations that is following your party. And the fact is, your party is followed by corruption, scandal after scandal after scandal after scandal after scandal. And that is why your chances of actually winning the election is no longer certain. That's why the JLP is not confident in a sure election victory. And the Dennis Strong debacle was maybe the last straw that broke the camel back.
And the fact is that no other administration in the history of Jamaica has spent more on roads and building of highways than this administration has in the last 9 years. None.
Point of order, Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness. Point of order. Nobody na discard or disregard your achievements. To be fair, to be balanced, as always, Holness has done a lot in my work, but if they did actually serious about winning the election, cause everything we do would make him win the election flying. Easy win. But you see them corruption scandals there, it causes the public to lose trust and faith in the government. So loss of public trust equals election victory uncertainty. Had your party not been involved in so much corruption scandals, allegations and accusation, then you would not be having this problem. It really that simple, you know. You know, make it more than what it is. Use no common sense. Me tell you in couple videos back, say the mere fact say, you know do so much wrong and so much misstep that everything you wanna do has been overshadowed, covered and buried by the corruption scandals. Me tell you that already. So me not understand how now make it look like say a rocket science, like you not get it and you not understand. We don't want people to do pretend like say we not see say I be a corruption back a corruption back a corruption back a corruption back a corruption accusations and allegations scandals. I follow your name and your party. Come on now, come on. It's like you take with an idiot or something. I honestly believe say you feel say 99% of Jamaicans dunce and illiterate, and maybe there's this articulate minority where only exists amongst politicians. You don't have to take with the idiot. You don't just want to pretend like we never see and hear what we see and hear as it relates to said corruption scandals, allegations and accusations. Make it make sense. There is a air of arrogance will come with the tone when them are describe and outline all of their accomplishments and achievements where they do for the country as if under that our taxpayer dollars appear them to do, and all these projects are done by our taxpayers money. So una make it look like say a grant we a favor, and we supposed to praise uno and worship uno for the job where we appear uno for do. All of these projects we are talk about are our taxpayers money. I fund all of them and make all of them possible. So I know we fear praise and thank uno supposed to glad say uno in the position fi do what uno supposed to do for us, the people where uno work for. Cause uno work for we. Uno act like say we supposed to be grateful. Like I know that uno get paid for do. The arrogance of these politicians is it's giving entitlement. Anyway, make it Prime Minister continue.
You cannot expect that every single bad road is going to be fixed in 1 decade. What the public does not know, however, is how many roads has been actually fixed in the decade. What you hear is of the roads not fixed, but you don't hear of the roads fixed. What you hear is of the communities that don't have water. What you don't hear is of the communities that have gotten water. What you hear of is the places that are flooded out because of poor drainage, but what you don't hear of is that we have fixed this problem that has existed for decades in the Myton Gully, spending over 370 million Jamaican dollars to expand the waterway with 4 culverts and to pave the invert for over 200 meters.
Holness says it's all negative corruption scandal narratives. But is this one different? Is the IC finally moving in the right direction? Let me hear you below in the comments. Desmond. People make we hear where Desmond McKenzie officer, because as usual the government run out wrong and strong as usual, and he run out fire shots at Mark Golding and the PMP in the defense of Dennis Strong and wrong as usual, and they wonder why them are gonna lose the election. At this point, it's a miracle if the JLP win a third term, you know. Know that
Look at how they are destroying the character of Dennis Trump. This man first came to public attention in either 2014 or 2015 when the PNP-led board of the National Solid Waste Management Authority wrecked solid waste. The only thing that they used to be proud of is the amount of fire they have and the amount of money that they spend to hold fire. And the Prime Minister at the time had to make some changes, and she called at least 3 members out of the private sector, including Mr. Trump, and asked him to serve on the board of the National Solid Waste Management Authority. People now no longer turn up their face on solid waste. It was under his leadership that the thousands of workers who were working at solid waste, who never had job security, who was earning less than minimum wage, it was under his leadership that the National Solid Waste Management Authority has been turned around. And now, all of a sudden, you're using before, and now you're coming to tell us that he's no good, that he's not qualified. What kind of Jamaica are we building? How can we encourage persons outside of the political system to get involved when you tear down somebody because people not smiling with you the way you want people to smile with you?
Point of order, Desmond McKenzie. Point of order. You cannot just jump from 12 years experience in law enforcement. 5 of them at a senior level was listed as one of the requirements for the post of Chief Technical Director of the Financial Investigations Division, FID, when it was first advertised in 2024. And then fast forward to January this year, uno change it to minimum requirement, qualification and experience that candidates should have 12 years related experience at the managerial level, 5 of which should be at a senior management level. So, as usual, the JLP run out wrong and strong. Typical.
Crime has gone down. 44% reductions in crime, never in the history of Jamaica from we start to measure. Since they started to measure poverty officially in this country, is the first in our history from they started to measure it. Poverty is at 8%. But you know what is important in all of this? When they measure rural poverty, it is at a low. You know why? The social housing program of Dr. Andrew Holness, the indigent housing program of local government, the give backs, the benefits to people, the minimum wage, and all the benefits that we have been able to give to Jamaicans. I want all of you here to understand tonight that their target is our leader and Prime Minister. Because let me tell you something, one of the things that they have done over the years is to attack our leaders, try to tear down our leaders. But let me tell you something, as a party and as a country, we're going to push back against the hypocrisy of a toothless, a party that lacks vision.
Look at even that. Look how low on a bring down crime. That is a historical feat that has never been done in Jamaica yet. That alone should have made you win and secure the elections. But it just show you how much allegation and accusation scandal can damage a party. With all those things where you do, that major crime reduction are actually something for applaud and clap on for. No joke. I am happy say the crime rate go down. I am happy say you have a government where take up crime seriously and a step in at the neck of crime and criminals. Cause me not like crime and criminals. Me not like no form of criminality. That's why me not like political corruption. But uno do such a good job at fighting crime and uno can't call election. A lot of people are talking about election due September. No government needs to actually wait on the due date for call call the election. You can call the election way before, even 1 year before the due date. So a lot of people don't know what them talk about. You don't have to wait for the due date to call the election. As someone who wants what is best for Jamaica and want a better Jamaica, I actually hope and pray for both political parties do well and do the right thing. Me no pray for see the demise and downfall of our two political parties under corruption scandals, accusations and allegations. No, me want them do well, me want them do good. A lot of people are very disappointed in Andrew Holness. Trust me, a lot of people saw him as a beacon of hope for a new and better Jamaica because he was the youngest prime minister in Jamaican history after Bruce Golding stepped down. And people are saying, yes, Jamaica got turned around, fresh young leader. Jamaica never see this yet. So now fast forward when Andrew in a political prime, people very disappointed in all of the corruption scandals and allegations and accusations where I follow his party under his stewardship. So the PNP have two municipalities riddled with corruption, allegations and accusation scandals. One in the Kingston and St. Andrew municipality and one in the St. Catherine municipality. That not look good for the PNP as the alternative choice of government where we are looked to for say well them better than the JLP. Yeah, that just don't look good. Now una send a strong message to Jamaicans that uno not different from the JLP. That's two corruption scandal too many. If uno never know, that's why me keep tell uno say there has to be a clear distinction between the two parties. The two parties name can call up and a mix up in a corruption scandals. Then how you gonna say you're different if you do the same thing where you cuss out that the man for? It's like the pot across the kettle. Make it make sense. Remember, you're not in power yet. You're in the opposition. And if you're then in opposition and your name are calling a corruption scandals like the ruling government, you are set a bad precedent. You are sending the wrong message to Jamaicans. It should not be the case that, oh, PNP is the lesser of two evils when choosing between who to vote for or who corrupt less. And who for name have more corruption panny and who for party name has less corruption panny. It should never be a case of that. It should never have to come down to that. It should not be a case that, oh boy, the Holness government do too much corruption, so guess what? Even though we see say the PMP are gonna do the same thing, make we put in them and make them do the same thing, but we have to get out Holness because his administration, them a do too much corruption scandals, allegations and accusations. It should never have to come down to that as a choice for the Jamaican people and for the voters. And not that we pay tax for. We're not supposed to accept that and that the type of leadership there. And a lot of people over the JLP and PMP still not get it. I mean, I thought the supporters of the party, them just not get it because them have that tribal mindset there where them put them party and their favorite politicians over Jamaica. And when it comes to Jamaica, I don't care about no political parties, no politician, because I actually want a better Jamaica.